back, another episode of the DPCast. I am Paul.
And I am Dan Cleopatra Pharaoh III.
And we got an action-packed episode waiting for your listening ears today. So, Dan, I say we get into...
What's new with you?
So, Dan.
Yeah.
What's new with you, pal? Freaking what's happening?
I know. What's happening? Oh, it's another week, isn't it? Gone quick.
Are you telling me? Genuine. Another
Yeah.
podcast, another day. We are hitting May as well, a little milestone. It is episode 30 as well, Dan.
Ooh, happy 30th.
Oh,
Happy 30th, Paul.
Oh, you shouldn't have. You shouldn't have.
Oh, I'm so embarrassed I didn't bring a gift. Oh. Anyway, yeah. So it's been another week. What's new in the world of Dan? Let's think now. Okay, well, as you know, I did a show 2 weeks ago, or a week ago, whatever it was. So I have been proper chilling this week.
Nice.
I have been taking Amazon Prime Video and Netflix by storm, and I've just been vegging. So let's go through what I've been watching this week. I have finished watching The Tick.
Yes.
They released the first 6 episodes, I think, a couple of weeks ago. And it's very good. I enjoyed it very much. I will say the following, because you've got the pilot months ago.
Yes.
I will say that the series, the rest of the episodes aren't as good as the pilot. The pilot was just amazing. I was sold.
But the same time as well is that I get a funny feeling with that series. There was 1 or 2 problems. Now, may as well, I haven't watched they'll come in 5 episodes beyond the first.
Okay,
I think, but the same time as well is that I think maybe why the first episode was so good is because they had to sell it first before actually making the series.
Well, of
so
course.
I think so naturally I get a funny feeling they made it so over the top for episode 1 just to keep just keep the fluidity for people to go, I want to watch this, and then sort of had to downgrade it. Had maybe because of that aspect it wasn't going to keep that consistent base. But that means season 2, if it's going to be such a hit, is going to be a lot better. So I'm actually quite excited to watch the next coming 5 episodes just to give it that next season, because the coming season after is going to probably be the better season because you're going to get a more consistent base.
I read up on it, and it's the next 6 episodes. There's going to be 12 episodes, I think.
Okay.
The next 6 episodes aren't going to be part of season 1. It's just they've released the first half now. But yeah, I've watched it, and I will say it's good. But where it's left off now, it's a good setup for it. It's going to get better. You can tell. They were just laying down the foundation for what's to come, and it's really good. I enjoyed it.
That's really
so
good.
yeah, that's The Tick. What else have I watched? I've watched Preacher season 2.
I haven't watched any of that. I know of it. I just haven't watched any of it, and I think it's a little bit like Game of Thrones to me. Now, nothing of it close, but I'm on about that. I haven't watched an episode of Game of Thrones. For the simplistic thing is that these kind of things, right, I'm not a massive fan of watching bit by bit. Now, I'm a big hole when it comes down to the aspect of watching it in chunks. Big chunks. Yeah. And at this point, I would literally like to have, when watching Game of Thrones, when I inevitably might watch it, I want to watch the full 9 seasons or 8 seasons, whatever it's going to end up inevitably being.
Alright, so in about a year and a half you'll watch it then.
Yeah. And the same thing with like Preacher, I get a funny feeling like it's going to be better if I watched it in bulk than watched it in weekly segments.
Yeah, I have a feeling with Preacher, it's hanging by the skin of its teeth at the moment. First season, did well. It did well. And I can back that up. The first season was absolutely outstanding. I fell in love with it so much that I watched it twice, back to back. I loved it. Second season now, it's not as good. It's good. I enjoyed it in parts. But it was so much different from the first season. The first season, you're basically based in the town, and he's got his church. He's the preacher of this church, and shit's going up on and on. I won't spoil it for you. Yeah. And it's like you got a feeling of home. It's there, right? It's based in this village. It's town, and it's great. It's funny. It's great. But in the second season, they're coming away from the town. I'll tell you what happens. Yeah. And they go to New Orleans.
Okay.
And it's a bit more, I don't know, it's not so much that homely feel to it, where it's like, with the first season I just ploughed through it because it was so addictive. This one was more a bit chippy choppy,
I get where you're coming from. I think
it's so funny though. It's great. It's still
to what I hear with The Walking Dead. There's another aspect, another series that I've not watched. I watched episode 1. I wasn't a massive lover of episode 1, but I heard that the coming seasons are pretty damn good. But I get that funny feeling that it's one of the kind of series that started like in that neighborhood and sort of like merged off it to these new restricted areas that caused a lot of death between a lot of people and a lot of controversy. That seems to have the same feeling you must probably just had from Preacher, like going away from that homely feel and going to the next stages, as far as I can recollect from what I get told from The Walking Dead.
I don't know. Well, yeah, the thing is with Walking Dead, they're always finding somewhere safe to camp out, and then shit goes wrong, shit goes down, and they got to move again. That's the thing with Walking Dead, is that's happening. Well, not at the moment. Actually, I haven't watched the new season. I don't know where the hell it is, to be honest, because they get a mid-season break, and then it starts up again, and by the time that happens, I can't remember if it's a new season or the second part of another season.
I know what you mean. I
totally it's like, I don't know.
Well, to be honest, the one I watched in full longevity was Breaking Bad. What a phenomenal series that is. You've got to be fully entailed with it, though, because naturally, like season 2, season 4, it seems to have like a bit of a different, like it seems to drop a bit, but then massively increase near the end, where you've got to be sort of settled with it, enjoy what you're getting. It's like watching Heroes. Yeah. And then sort of like you got a big finale, and the big finale is like the final season. What is like a masterpiece.
I never finished watching Heroes. I watched the first season, which was
I watched it all.
the big hyper-do, the big thingy. And then after season 2 came, I think I watched half of it, and I lost interest completely.
I loved it.
I have to give it another go, because I watched season 2 while it was on TV. It was happening weekly, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And I think I just lost interest. If I binge watched it, perhaps I'll be more hooked into it. But
Heroes was a weird one. Season 1 was phenomenal. Season 2 went blasé. Season 3 went shit, and season 4 went absolutely fucking to the frying pan. But yet the storyline still goes between them. Like it's sort of like watching the Matrix movies. Wow, talk about going from one segment to the next. Freaking is that like the Matrix movies? You watch number 1, people are massive fans. You watch number 2, the fans of it are still fans of 2 and 3. Yet the outsiders outside watching from in through the rose tinted glasses, they see Matrix 1 as good, see Matrix 2 as shit, and Matrix 3 boring as fuck. And that's different.
Of course, we entirely disagree, don't we, Paul?
Oh, massively. There's such a massive story arc that people are not
we're
seeing.
Matrix connoisseurs. We don't give a crap. We have no shame. We love the Matrix, and we probably think the sequels are better. So, F you.
To be honest, in my case, number 2 is better than number 1.
I gotta say, yeah, probably.
Yeah, freaking. There's a lot of better action. The CG is a bit blasé in parts.
I gotta be honest. Yeah, CG looks a bit funny, but I can bury that little chestnut of nonsense with bad CG. I'm just gonna put it down. Well, it's the Matrix.
Yeah, it is.
Perhaps they have bad CG in the Matrix.
Yeah. I agree. I totally agree. And to be honest, I
think it's down to as well. I've watched the first one so many times that I probably wore out the VHS tape I had of it.
Fuck yeah, come on VHS, man.
And
wow,
I think the sequels are still more fresh to me than the first one, which I know off by heart. That I was like, I know what's gonna happen. Yeah, I've seen this lobby scene so many times. And but it's still new to me, so it's still wow.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Oh man, watching it on your TV though.
I know.
The first time I 4K TV, your Samsung 4K.
Oh, freaking! It was beautiful, in it. Literally, guys.
I never hug you. We never hug.
Oh no, we don't. Freaking! As much as me and Dan come to each other like brothers, we never hug each other. Freaking! But the same time, I'm just there now, and literally we both nearly.
Yeah.
Oh, in harmony, just went. I know, Dan. I know.
Yeah. When you watch something all your life, most of your life, or maybe some of your life, and you know it, you just know what it looks like, you know what's happening, you're watching it, but you still love it. And then you get it presented to you in a different form.
Yes.
It's the same film, but feels totally different. So crystal clear, so smooth, and it's just like, oh my god, I think I'm going to cry.
Do you know what? People out there now, right? If anybody's on the fence when going out and buying your TV and you're like, oh, this 4K stuff is a little bit over the top. People don't need this. 1080p is still as good as what it needs to be. And the curved, it's just another fad. Guys, I'm being straight up with you. I'm a tech freak, right? I kid you not. I had myself a 42-inch, beautiful Sony Bravia that done the job, right? That done 1080p. That's lovely.
Yeah, which I still have as well. I still stand by it.
Yeah, they've got amazing frame rates. They are fucking amazing to watch. The picture quality is on the point. But, get yourself 4K. Experience a 4K TV in curve. I've got it a little bit bigger than my 42. And Dan, oh my God, isn't it, Dan? There's a difference.
Oh, God damn.
There
I will say this. I don't know what other makes are like. Samsung, though. You've got a Samsung.
Yes.
I don't know if it's the Samsung technology that does something, but listeners might know what I'm talking about. I went to see The Hobbit, one of the Hobbit films, in high frame rate. And anyone who's seen high frame rate will understand that, oh dear Lord, it's like watching a smooth documentary. Something. It almost feels like, what the hell? I didn't know that a film could be this smooth. You don't know it's possible until you see it.
Yeah.
And you see it, it's like, oh my God, like seeing a dragon going over a town burning shit. And it's like, high frame rate, 48 frames per second, whatever like that. Now, the Samsung TV does something to a Blu-ray or whatever you're watching that kind of fools it into... I don't know what it does. I don't know how it does it, because there's not enough frames to make it high frame rate, but it makes it seem high frame rate.
Frame rate, yeah, I agree.
It's like watching the Matrix car chase scene in Reloaded. It was like watching something on BBC News. It was just smooth and, geez Louise. Yeah. And it does something to CG, because I hate CG most of the time, if it's not done right. It does something to CG that makes it fit into the film.
Yeah, it does.
And it looks outstanding.
It has like an engine built into it that literally just smoothens out the little bits and bobs that you might have seen on a normal TV, and like just really eases in. I think the best me and you stated is when we were watching it, is if like they were in the room making a documentary with us.
Yeah.
Freaking, it was just like as nuts as this now, right? Me and Dan are not the huge lovers of Transformers, right? There've been so many just sequels after sequels after sequels after sequels. They're now getting a bit blasé. But
I think they got a bit blasé after the first one, to be honest.
Oh yeah, totally. But at the same time as well, like everybody comes from my door, right? I'm literally like, they were like, oh, lovely TV, and I'm like, watch this. I shove on Transformers, the new trailer, on YouTube. This is not even true 4K. This is fake 4K, as they like to call it, right? Shoved it on, and this is 1980 over like 1980p, something like that it is, right? Mm-hmm. And like you shove it on, and you show them the Transformers trailer in 60 frames a second, and it is just mind blowing how beautiful it is. Yeah, mind blowing.
I hate the Transformers, but oh my lord, it looked pretty.
Yeah,
my.
Totally, freaking! It just looks phenomenal. It made the movie actually watchable, and that's a crazy statement to place out there. It made a movie watchable. That's nuts to state. But we've watched older movies, well done, and they just they look incredible. I mean, literally, like
what looked great in there, cartoons.
Yeah,
it's like I think you had Sky One on The Simpsons. You know, it's always on there and stuff. Even that looked smooth. You know when the camera pans to the left or the right? It's weird because the animation, that's going to be jerky because it's animation, you know?
Yeah.
But when the camera pans, you can see that how it's kind of animated. It's like they're zoomed into one section of the cartoon, and when they go to another section of it, they pan. Yeah. So it doesn't match the animation anymore. It's weird. It's honest, like watching like Cartoon Network and all that. It's like a different experience watching it. It really is. But before I keep talking about my TV, any more about your week, Dan? Oh yes, I'll go finish off my list of what I've been binge watching. I've been watching Death Note as well, the anime.
Yes, you said you've been watching this. I haven't got around to watching this yet.
Oh, it's addictive. It's very addictive, and a nice size episode too, like 20-minute episodes each.
Yeah.
I'm about halfway through. It's very addictive. I won't go too much into that because there's really much crack on. And I've been watching Rick and Morty.
Oh.
I've just started season 3 of Rick and Morty. I love it. I love it.
Have you seen Pickle Rick yet?
Pickle Rick. Oh, that's the next episode because I just watched today actually the one where they did take the piss out of Mad Max.
Pickle Rick is fucking
incredible.
I
think the picture I saw a pickle on a workbench and I thought, what the hell is that about? It looks funny. And that's the next episode I'm going to watch.
Possibly the most funniest episode I've ever watched.
Okay, don't say anything.
I'm not saying Jack. Literally, I've watched it twice in work now in the last coming week because anybody who doesn't have the flexibility of watching Netflix, a little tip note for you, and a lot of people don't realise this, that if you literally go into YouTube and play, say, Simpsons, Family Guy, whatever cartoon, in this case Rick and Morty, shove in Rick and Morty live, and it actually has people showing Rick and Morty shows live and just on repeat. And for the last couple of days in work where it's been boring and, I just want to get rid of a couple of hours, show on YouTube, Rick and Morty on, watching Rick and Morty in work, Rick on the work's computer, laughing. And the last couple of ones, they've been repeating season 3 of the 8 episodes.
Yes.
And one of them has been Pickle Rick. And it's just incredible. And, I got to give props. It's a very, very good...
it's really smart
Mad
stuff
Max
too,
one is
and
amazing.
great. Oh, that's a good one, yeah.
Freaking, the way they go, he has the arm. Freaking that wants to kill everything.
That's right. He got a possessed arm, hasn't he? He's great. I gotta say, is the dad in it, I've forgotten his name. The dad anyway. The dad. It's scary sometimes. It reminds me so much of me. Not so wimpy and pathetic. Well, maybe, I don't know. But it's just when he goes to the bloody Titanic sinking recreation and all that. It's just so something I would do. It's
waiting till you. I'm waiting to see the coming episodes, dude. I literally want to Dan, check this out. But you got to watch them, dude. When you watch them, me and you literally gonna have a good chat about this on the podcast. Because I kid you not, the Pickle Rick, you're gonna blow your mind laughing because it is so funny. Anyways,
I got one more.
Go on.
I got one more. Okay, well, this is because I thought I'd put something on the background now because something I've seen already while I do a poster for the play we're doing in April next year.
Okay.
Yeah. And I'll put something on the background and I'll get to work on this poster now.
All right.
I was going through Amazon and all the films on my Fire Stick. I got an Amazon Fire Stick. It's awesome, by the way. And I watched Ghost. Random. I saw Ghost on there. I thought, I'll stick Ghost.
Ghost the movie, the one with Patrick Swayze.
Patrick Swayze, yeah.
Oh, what a great movie!
Oh, it's a beautiful film.
Freaking Unchained Melody. That's where the song came from.
Yeah. Oh, my love, my darling,
I've come for your touch.
Yeah.
Are you
Yeah.
still mine?
That's a cushion on the lap scene, that is.
Oh, freaking, it is. Yep.
Yeah.
That's a classic. That's an absolute classic.
Yeah, man. I tell you what, I watch a lot of horror films. I love a good scare. But when it's got some of the scariest moments ever in that film. Is when
Really?
Yeah. You know when the bad guys die and the demon shadows come out and they go.
I keep forgetting about that part of the movie.
It's fucking terrifying. It's like, never mind Chucky, Friday the 13th, E.T. That's one of my scariest films, by the way.
And it.
It's terrifying. It's just the noise they make. It's just like, oh fuck! I'm going to be a good boy. I don't want those shadows coming after me.
Not even that. The guy in the train is a bit of a weird one as well, isn't he?
Oh, I liked him. He was like, get off my train!
Freaking, it's a great movie.
You stubborn asshole!
Freaking, I loved Ghost. Ghost is it has got such a romantic feel to it. Yet still has such an awesome play with the character. It's brilliant. I love it.
I really want to see I think there's a musical. Yeah, there's a musical of it. I really want to see that. Yeah.
Interesting. That'd be quite intriguing to see that.
Yeah.
Freaking coming from the two people that, have you ever been to a musical? I know you've been in one.
Yeah, I've seen a bunch of musicals. I've seen Lion King twice. Don't want to see it again. Twice was enough. It's very good though. Wicked. It didn't do anything for me. Wicked. Me and My Girl. That was a good one. I've seen a bunch of them.
That's intriguing.
How can I forget Book of Mormon? Anyone who hasn't seen Book of Mormon, if you're in London at any time, go and see Book of Mormon. It's the only thing that has ever made me come out of a theatre or whatever I'm watching absolutely exhausted from laughing. Go and see it.
Really?
And Motown was good too. Anyway, I won't go through all the musicals I've seen. So that's my week, Paul.
All right.
Finished drinking?
Well, my week hasn't
all right.
been as...
We can tell Paul didn't watch musicals.
No, I don't. I literally.
Oh, right.
No, to be honest, just a quick tip on the freaking, because me and Dan do this with Skype Ed. Literally, as he was finishing off there, freaking it totally frozen his screen. I was like, "Oh shit, what the fuck's going on?" So literally, I was like,
I thought, God damn, he's taking a big swig of his drink. The
Yeah.
screen froze a bit, I think.
I was like, "Oh crap, freaking." So, but no, freaking my week hasn't been as freaking as eventful as yours, as to be honest, dude. I've had quite a low key kind of week, as you would like to put it, maybe. I started my training. Oh, do you know, I wanted to get myself fit, right? I'm not, for my height, I don't look big, but I'm at a weight that I feel like I need to start training down, you know?
Yeah.
So literally tonight now, of the night of recording you, literally started training, and I'm like, do you know what? Oh, do you know, it feels good to get back myself into a training position. It felt good. Helping one of my friends, Steph, as well. She wants to lose a bit of weight, and I thought, you know, freaking, let's work at it as a team. You know, freaking, let's not do this as a, you know, on your own, because there's only one problem with training on your own, right? And there's a huge problem with it, is that when you're alone with yourself, you don't want to do certain stuff, like oh, I got to do training today. Can I not do it? Shall I ask myself, shall I do it today? Nope, I ain't doing it today. And when you're doing it on your Todd, it's a hard thing to do. Even if you're in a routine, it's hard to do. But when you've got somebody to push you along, somebody to kick you in the arse 24/7, and me and Steph are nearly parallel in that kind of factor, where we need a shunt in our asses, where I'm down and can't be asked to do it, she's going to shunt me in my ass, and vice versa back. And it's nice to know I've got that kind of thing at the moment, where I can really gut punch each other, freaking, you know, right, okay, let's get this sorted, let's get ourselves into where we want to be, and that's where we are right now, is where we really want to start toning down. And I don't know if anybody's ever heard of DTP yoga.
Oh, I swear by it.
Dan, you're the one who actually got me involved with it, Tony. It's by freaking.
Actually, no, it was you who got me involved, because you were listening to podcasts well before I was, and I said something about trying to get in shape and stuff, and you said, "Oh, have you ever heard of DDP?" And this is even before I started watching wrestling.
Yeah.
So DDP is basically a wrestler from the Attitude Era, isn't he?
It is indeed, yes.
Yes, and he created yoga, but it's kind of like a bodybuilding.
Yeah,
yoga.
it's
not
like
your yoga where you wear pink spandex and stuff like that
Well,
and do stretches. It's yoga where you actually use something called dynamic resistance.
Resistance. That's exactly what it is.
And you use your own body as its own weightlifting system, basically.
Yeah.
So and it's very good. You know, there's no weightlifts. It's just all yoga, bending, shaping, and it's
all just strengthening and pulling your body into the right positions and getting you back up to the places that you need to be.
And it's effing fantastic for your spine. Man, some of the positions you get into, not dirty ones, don't worry. No. But it's some of the positions you get, you just hear your back go.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my god, and you feel so light afterwards, because it's like, oh my goodness me.
Yeah, you know? It's one of the most effective things I've ever done. Now, a lot of people might think it's a fad, or might think it's like, how could this work? I kid you not. This thing works so well. I mean, genuinely, like, I wish. Do you know, a lot of people don't know about this. Is only because it's very American based, but yet people in America who've done it, a lot of WWE at the moment, who are well endowed with it, really can't say enough good things about it. I mean, there is wrestlers who have been put on the shelf, who, because of wrestling, and they went to DDP. He was like, right, okay, let me turn your life around. Let me get you to the stages in your life that you want to be. Yeah. And he was like, they were like, yeah, whatever, you know. Again, I can understand this. I've been in this boat where, you know, like, oh, this is bullshit. I mean, how much is it truth? And then they come off. They're coming back onto the ring again, and they've got another 4 or 5 years left back in them.
Yeah,
DDP is an actual guy who done his own product and tested it on himself. This is a guy who got told he would never wrestle again. He went out, he done physiotherapy and yoga, and realised there was something in between there that needed to be synced, and he synced them together and made DDP. So he done it on himself. Well, he went back to the doctors nearly 6 to 7 months later after his injury, and the doctor went to him and goes, "What the hell have you done to yourself?" And he's like, "What do you mean?" He goes, "Your body is like it's been refreshed, as if like you've hit the restart button." And he's like, "I don't get what you're on about." He goes, "Whatever you've done something to your body that your body has recovered such to a higher status that I wouldn't be surprised they would allow you back into the ring. So at this point, he's double-checking his standards and goes back to WWE officials and doctors. And then his actual WWE doctors allowed him to go back in the ring. He went to wrestle for another 10 fucking years and won another 7 or 8 championships. Now, may as well, that sounds like, oh, well, that's nothing in a WWE ring.
Yeah.
To have a championship in a ring, that means you're the pride and joy of that show. That means you've got to go to each and every house show. That means you've got to go to all the things. You're talking about years and years and years and years and years of literally doing stuff of, like, going to that ring. On top of not being told 10 years before this, before you ended, of, hey, I can't do that. You know, freaking being told that you will never go back in that ring. And then his DDP is a pride and factor of it. Yeah. And he actually states in his videos, you watch his videos, one thing he doesn't like, his Diamond Dallas doesn't, is that he goes, I haven't picked up a weight in near 4 years. And he's in perfect physical shape. Yeah. And yet, things we're going to see is that big people who see this can't see how this would work because there's no movement, there's not much to it.
Oh,
there's
man,
so much to it,
man.
There's so much.
I've got to be honest. I started off with the DVDs. I bought the DVDs, got them delivered, and I used them. They were very good. There was something missing though, even though they were fantastic. It was missing. But now he's got the DDP Now app. Yeah. Basically, a subscription instead of buying DVDs. I've signed up for a year because I love it. And it pushes you better because it's got makes you a schedule of when you should be exercising and gives you the option to add more if you want to. Gives you nutrition, cooks food and stuff like that. And for people who are massive, you know, or you have disabilities or whatever, bad knees, bad joints, whatever, it's got so many different options for you too because you like alternate versions where you use chairs. You start off with a chair and use chairs to help yourself up and stuff like that. It's amazing stuff, man.
It really is.
And it's even got the option for kids in there.
Yeah.
You know, that's so it's great, man.
Things about it, he has this really cool way of looking at it, and he comes across quite good in it. He comes across like the way we want a video to come across, that he's not feeding you bullshit. And like you get so many of these videos these days, just feeding you bullshit. And genuinely, like the video that sold to me, it really was. It was a paratrooper that worked for the forces in America, and his legs were fucked. You're talking about a guy maybe in the nutshell, I think he states 287 pounds, somewhere near that bracket, was about 24, maybe 25 stone, give or take on it. Please correct me in the Twitter comments. Yeah. But the same time as well, like you talk about 287 pounds, that's a lot of weight in a guy, and he didn't look that tall either. No. His knees were fucked. He was using crutches, and he was literally, to be quite honest, I think he even states in his video, he was about weeks to months away from basically near the end in his life. He was that. I think the full extensive video, there is shorter versions of it, where he was just depressed. He was depressed that he could hardly go outside, he could hardly walk, going to work was an issue.
Yeah, so he had leg braces and crutches going and everything.
Yeah, I mean, the guy was fucking mangled. He really was. So literally, what he heard about DDP, he tried it out, and you watched the schedule of this guy go from stage to stage to stage to stage, and it was beautiful to see. It was beautiful. It's moving, very moving. If you're not crying beyond it, you've got a heart of fucking stone.
Oh, it's
amazing. The same time as well, right? You literally go on in that kind of circumstance now, right, where you see a guy who is the most average weight in America. That's a big weighted lad of about 20 to 25 stone. You're talking about a lad who's literally
kidding?
Knees are fucked. So again,
is it really that is that really the average weight in America?
It doesn't show. Think about it now, dude. Right? Yeah, I'm pretty positive it is. Please, I will be averagely. I will love to be correct on that one, but I'm sure it is due to the factor is over here. I think our average weight is between 15 to 19, as a nutshell. Yeah. But the reason why it's so much over there is because you can get food 24/7 of the night.
Oh.
Like McDonald's don't close. Like as much as ours do now, but they've done that for years. Their Burger Kings don't close. Their supermarkets don't close. Like all these big ass places where you can just binge eat where you want them, Domino's, all these things are just consistently open 24/7 out there. And I think I was watching a YouTuber only literally today, if I was not mistaken. He goes, I can't wait to get back home so I could literally have food in the night, because they're YouTubers, they kind of do their stuff throughout the night.
Yeah.
And he was literally like, he goes, I can't wait to have food tonight because they're over here at the moment doing a bit of filming. And he's like, we're starving because we're looking for food at like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. Like,
Yeah.
but at the same time as well, like,
no,
you know,
that ain't going to happen over here, sorry.
No.
It's surprising how many people are getting work asking, no, is there anything open? It's a Tuesday night and it's about 1 in the morning. It's like,
yeah,
sorry, man. And even the takeaways are shut now, you know?
exactly,
the latest they open is possibly 1 or 2 o'clock on the weekend.
Yeah.
You know, but in the weekday you got no chance in hell, you know?
Yeah.
Unless you want to go to McDonald's. So,
Exactly.
and you got to drive
well,
one way I work anyway, so.
Well, to be honest, that's what I realised. You go to America, there's very few people you don't see that are massive.
Yeah.
What gives me probably the rougher scale of America of the grand total of the size.
I wonder if Will is massive, but he's hiding it.
Oh, can you imagine? Or May as well. That's a very good point that you brought him up. That during the recording of this one, this is currently today a Monday, if I'm not mistaken, Dan?
Tuesday.
Is it Tuesday today?
It's Tuesday today, and this will drop on Wednesday.
Yes, so it's Tuesday recording this. We would like to wish Will a very happy birthday today.
Yeah.
As you probably would have seen on our Twitter
3,
page.
2, 1. Happy
birthday
birthday
to
Oh, god damn, it's really hard to sing in sync on Skype. Happy birthday, Will.
Yeah, freaking, we literally we've already wished him happy birthday on our Twitter page. If you want to give it a like and a retweet or freaking send a message on it, please do. He would only get the much love from it. Will's an awesome bloke, and be prepared. He's coming soon. This first episode for his coming podcast on our channel. We're excited. We're really pumped for what he's going to be bringing us. But that really does bring us full circle to a bit of news we want to bring you guys. Now, anybody who is a DPCast fan, and we got a few of you out there, as shocking as it is, we're now 30 episodes in. Me and Dan never thought we'd even get to this stage. You know, we did.
We said we're not going to quit. We made it this far, and we're never going to quit.
Things right. we said we would never quit, but at the same time as well is that, you know, we wanted to hit. We just wanted to keep going. You know, me and Dan never hit, like, we never put ourselves like, oh, we were going to hit 100, not this, right? We just wanted to go as we flew. And now we're 30 episodes in, and like me and Dan can only see the stars now. You know, we can only see where the next stages or the next points are. We've hit really nice milestones in our career. As the 30 episodes that we've done with this, and we love it. Me and Dan can only think of new, exciting stuff to bring you guys.
Oh, yeah.
So, we've been talking. Me and Dan have realised over the nutshell of the DPCast months that we've been with you guys, and the fans that have been with us. We have noticed something in our views that we want to kind of change a little bit, and we think it's due to maybe old content or the aspect that you maybe want to see a bit more of me and Dan. So, we have created new segments that have more of me and you, Dan. Freaking more that we will be a little bit more involved, and the people who come on are just a part of us, they've got their own segments anyway.
Basically something that doesn't rely on having to have guests on to do it. If we don't have any guests, then we can still do it on our Todd.
Yes.
So. And
you will get more of me and Dan's comical values and laughs that you'll have on a regular basis that we love giving you guys. So, to give you a bit of an idea, we are going to be getting ready to the Indo guys. I know it's only had one episode with us, I know, but we've realised the Indo guys had such promise, but we can't hold up to the promise due to it's nothing that our friends can't do with us. The problem is we can't get enough people on regular enough over the 4 weeks to get that episode, to get that segment flowing as nicely as me and Dan would like it to have.
At this stage, anyway.
Yeah, at this stage. We're
still early days. We're still babies in the podcast industry. Well, so we're not at the point where we can invite people weekly and stuff like that. You know, we're still, local boys. You know.
Yes. Well, come in now. We literally will have before long. We might bring it back. Who knows? We might even bring it back as its own podcast. We never know. But. Me and Dan last night, we were spitballing ideas for a brand new segment for Will. Because Will's Film Snob Reviews now has gone. It's gone to become a podcast of its own on our channel, because now we're the DPCast network. And we have spitballed ideas last night, and me and Dan, when we spitball, we don't spitball one, we spitballed a few, and we loved the full entire 3 segments that we're going to be bringing you guys. Now, they're not going to be permanent titles. They might be the exact titles. We're not 100% sure yet. But we are taking away Spoilercast and we're taking away Spoilercast and the Indoor guys, and we're replacing them 2 with an extra one that will be filling the Film Snob reviews with geek news. So any geek news that you feel like you want to hand to us, and we give out to you guys, that will be coming every 4 weeks. That me and Dan are very excited for that one, because we do have a lot of geek news, and we do share different elements of geekness. So that's going to be quite exciting.
Yes, Paul will bring his geek stuff. I will bring my geek stuff that Paul might not know much about. So it'll keep it'll touch on a lot of things, like whatever Paul's interested in, we'll touch upon. Whatever I'm interested in, we'll touch upon. So it'll all aspects of geekiness.
It's going to be as well whatever's in that 4 weeks. So naturally, if there's going to be news up in that week, me and Dan are going to know about it. We're going to be updating you every 4 weeks on our geek news. That's one. Now, these 2 ain't going to be our permanent titles, most probably, but we have got a little segment coming up that's going to be called, where we're going to have trailers that we will say yay or nay to watch. So these are up-and-coming trailers.
It was announcements to films,
announcements to movies, yes.
Yeah, but not trailers.
Or even it might differ on that. We're not 100% sure on the content of it yet.
Whatever we find, isn't it?
Yes,
whatever's announced and stuff. Then
it's like sort of like films that we know was coming down the line, and we're gonna go, really? Do we need this? Do we really need this? Is it going to be a yay or nay? And we'll see then. We literally might have like sort of podcasts that might counteract that one of when they do come out. We'll have our own versions of like, oh well, they did do well. And we can call back on them. So that's going to be a segment coming soon, and me and Dan will be picking about 2 or 3 movies will be coming in the coming years. That'll be interesting. So please, that's another couple of things you wouldn't mind shoving onto our Twitter page. Any people who do listen to us on a regular basis, that'd be really interesting. And our third one is going to be called. Me and Dan really like this one, right? As simplistic as it is, it's called Scenario Maker, or Sequel Maker.
Go on there, Paul.
Freaking genuinely, it's been a long day. Now, naturally, that the circumstance now, right, is that this Sequel Maker is not. We're not going to be doing any movies that has a sequel already. These are movies that you feel you've always wanted a sequel to. So, literally, what we're going to be doing, Dan will pick. Yeah, or not, yes, exactly. Now, Dan will have one, I will have one, and then fingers crossed we will have one through our Twitter as well, and that will literally bring into us that me and Dan will discuss together, and if somebody comes on, they will have one themselves too. Now,
basically,
we are
we've
talking
got to
of
create our own sequels and basically have fun. And
yes, exactly.
What we would think would happen in a sequel to film X? It's totally. Like. And it's basically a fun segment where we can just, it could turn serious, it could turn comical.
I want to kind of give him an example. Like, for argument's sake now, right, we wouldn't be picking Transformers because it has multiple sequels. Yet, we could pick a movie. In my case, I would pick the OG Willy Wonka as Willy Wonka 2. Because, yes, we've had a Willy Wonka movie. That's not a sequel. That was just a reboot. What I would like is an OG version of the Willy Wonka, but with Charlie running the shop. Now that's a sequel. Now that would be interesting to me to watch, and we could have a discussion about it. Now that would be an example for what we are heading towards with this segment. Now we will be pumping that out to you in the coming weeks. Please be prepped of the coming titles that might change of it. So we will explain to you on the day that will be. But
the 2 weeks off we took to refresh our content didn't work. Yeah.
No, we ended up refreshing it in a different aspect doing it though.
Yeah, it's like we came back and thought, Paul, have you realised that the sofa we changed, it doesn't really change the aspect of the room much, does it?
Yeah.
It's just the same sofa, just new. So now we're properly doing it. We're doing a proper job.
Things about me and Dan have realised that you guys, when me and Dan are on, you want more of us. And we're glad to give you this. We want to give you more. We want to give you more of me and Dan in the best versions we can. And by doing that, there's only one way to literally give you that, and that is literally downloading us on the SoundCloud, iTunes, and all Android podcast apps by just searching the DPCast.
Oh, that was smooth, Paul. That was smooth.
Oh, genuine. I was all about that smoothness, pal. I was like silk chocolate.
Oh.
But at the same time as well is that if you want to get a hold of me and Dan on multiple other bases, that would literally be on YouTube these days. Even Twitter and Facebook. Me as well, we don't use Facebook that much, but we do use it here or there. But Twitter, if you want to get a hold of our podcast on a regular basis, that is at the DPCasters, capital D, capital P, capital C, ASTERS, and you can literally get our podcast live every week when it goes live about normally Wednesday night, Thursday morning, give or take. Now, with that circumstance, all you have to do is check our Twitter page. We have our podcast sitting there. You click, not even on the link, just click on the little button on it, and it plays the podcast. And that gives you all our juicy goodness per week. But if you can't get a hold of us on Twitter or all of this stuff, as I mentioned, you can get a hold of us on YouTube, because Dan gets us on YouTube these days because he is a beautiful bastard that he is, and Dan likes to edit our podcast onto there too. So if you want to get a hold of us on that, give us a sub, give us a like, and we will love you back forevermore on that one.
And don't be afraid to tell your friends if you like the podcast. Tell your friends. If your friends don't do podcasts, don't do YouTube, then tell them to get a life. But if they don't do podcasts, fair enough. Some people don't do podcasts. But say, hey, they're on YouTube too. Say, hey, look, here it is. Grab their phone. Tell them, look, here it is. DPcast. Listen to it. It's great.
And guys, literally, yes, Dan is totally right.
If you can't get a hold of us on any of those things, here is Paul's personal home number. 0... Nah, I won't do that. No.
Nearly just went, asshole.
08512 Dick. There we go.
Dan, that's my home number. God damn it, Dan.
Oh, sorry. Press 1 for Paul.
Press 2 for Dan. Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, Dan, as we were just talking like that, I think I just heard the car. Sweet Jesus. Freaking old man's here again.
I thought he'd forgotten.
Forgotten? Freaking
Do you ever
old
get
man
that
never
way?
forgets. I get a funny feeling though this week though. I think what I can get off the pigeon that he told me, I think he's giving the hypothetical and fucking off, pal. I don't think he's staying.
Oh, what? I don't mind that, to be honest.
Freaking, he scares the shit to you, pal, doesn't he?
I don't like him. He stares at me all the time.
Well, I think that the door done.
Welcome to the world of a hypothetical, where the only limitations are your imagination. You now have the power to either prove or disprove religion itself. You do this in a way that it is undisputable. Do you decide to disprove religion? Something that has given so many people hope, drive, belief, and direction for so long? Or do you expose it, the thing that has caused countless holy wars and mass slaughter for no reason at all?
So, old man hypothetical strikes again as the door closes just behind me.
He's gone!
And
he's gone,
Dan. You're not going to feel like you're literally going to be shitting a brick throughout this hypothetical, Dan. Because naturally, you know how much he scares the fucking shit out of you.
I'm sure he gets into his car before I start bitching. He's gone! Oh, God. Relief.
Well done. The hypothetical he lobbed to us, though, was quite a controversial one this week.
Yeah, he's a bit of a bastard this week, isn't he?
Very religion topic. Yeah. Now, I'm quite intrigued about this one, because naturally it does lead on to our next segment beyond this, that we had given in to us by Steph, who was a listener.
Hello, Steph.
No. At the same time as well as that, I'm quite interested in this one. Now, I'd most probably disprove the full religion of it all. Because, firstly, I don't believe in it. I don't believe in any form of the religion anymore. I got brought up a very Christian background, right? And I don't believe it anymore. I realize that I got a thing in my life that I seem to evaluate stuff quite a lot, and I look at religion like a chain. Okay, you put a chain on a bike, the bike will move, as what religion does. But what happens over the period of time? People start questioning religion. That's when the break in the chain happens. But what happens then? Instead of preachers or ministers or the whatever circumstance, whatever religion it is, instead of actually going onto it now, they put a little bit of chain left onto it. They put another 2 notches on, and what happens again? Then it keeps still flowing because the chain will still it's back up to its full fluidity again. Then another person has a problem with it, and then another person, and then another, and then another. And what happens? He keeps adding this extra, another 2 pence onto the chain, another 2, another 2. And over that period of time, this chain has become huge. And the problem is with this chain is that over a period of time, it doesn't run the bike anymore. And that's what religion is. Religion has just become a bike that can't be ridden anymore because the chain has become too big.
Yep, it's basically tainted by man over the years. Yeah.
Yes,
It's
and they already talk what's Jehovah's Witnesses that they call them Tipex Bibles, they call them whatever the circumstance. But theoretically, that isn't naturally the Christian or whatever Catholic, whatever the circumstance Bibles, and the circumstance of a Tipex / remade Bible. Freaking, like the end of the day is that we're all. You've noticed a lot of Christians that do one thing, right? And this is why I would love to disprove them. I'd love to go to them one day and just break down the full entire Bible to them, because they don't have much answers back for the aspect of UFOs, for argument's sake, Dan. They could not, they can't. Do you know the annoying part to me with this one, right? This really is frustrating. You talk to a Christian who may as well very up their own asses. They really are, right? You talk to many Christians, they are nice, but you start breaking down their beliefs, and fucking hell, they will kick your ass 9 ways to Sundays, freaking, because they believe they're right. But the problem is here, right, is that when you go, right, well, tell me then, is there such a God that states that he built the earth, da-da-da-da-da, you know the tangent, you know the stories, right? Explain to me UFOs. And they're like, UFOs don't exist. Or if not, man's built it. I'm like...
That kind of closed-mindedness I don't like about it.
No, I don't like that closed-minded. But the problem is that with Dan, right, the annoying part to me when they state it, they go, oh, they're demons, they are. They're Satans. I'm like, come, give me a break. I'm sorry, but, like, there's closed-minded and there's narrow-minded too. We can't live our eyes this closed for this long. We've lived it for many years now, and we've closed our eyes to the circumstance. Our technology has gone to the next stages, our environment has changed massively, and we are seeing a mass increase of UFOs. Now, yes, I'm a UFO fan, right? I really am. But at the same time as well is that now, we are not just seeing, like before now, we've seen the handheld cameras and the dodgy pictures and the crazy old man on the road that's seen the farmer that was the milkmaid at this, that's seen the freaking crop field make circles, right? We're not talking about that anymore. We're talking about clear, HD, 4K quality, fucking whatever the circumstance. We are seeing shit-hot fucking footage of UFOs these days. This is not something now we're going, oh, this and that and the other. We are seeing quality of it. That disbelieves, to me, every fucking aspect of the Bible. Just shows to me the Bible is only one of two things. That is that the Bible is now just a theoretical sense to keep people in order. Because you listen to the stories, it is for good people to be good, and if you're bad, you will go to hell. And people now are realizing, how much does that even believe? How much is there such a thing of, like, they go to hell? How much they literally, these aspects? I don't think they are anymore. I genuinely believe there isn't these kind of things anymore in the aspect of, like Christianity. It's like, I do believe there is such a guy called Jesus. I just don't believe there was ever a God, and how much Jesus was an actual miracle healer, as much as I think we've gone into an old hypothetical there. So yeah, I'd love to hear your views on it, boy, Tony, because literally I could go on this for hours when it comes down to the.
Well, I am a big believer in not allowing, just it's up to anyone to believe in whatever they want to believe. If they want to believe in
totally
Santa Claus, pixies, leprechauns,
Yeah.
religion, not comparing, but I say everyone should have the free will to believe wherever they want to believe.
Mm-hmm.
I like to believe that maybe like paranormal stuff, like you like your UFOs, so do I. Not as much as you do, but I like the paranormal more, like what is living within our realm of the world, but not quite, because there's too many things going on. There's too much.
There's stuff that can't be explained.
There's too many things that cannot explain that happens. It's so much of it that you think there's got to be something. So
I agree.
I like to live a little bit logically in it. The amount of evidence that says that stuff has happened, it's too much to ignore.
I agree.
So that kind of thing. So when it comes to religion, maybe stuff did happen.
Yeah.
Look at Noah's Ark. When I say there's elements of truth to all the stories and stuff, like Noah's Ark. Yeah. Maybe Noah did exist. Yeah. Maybe he did. Build an ark. And maybe the whole place flooded. But I don't think it flooded the world. I just think it flooded. Like, in them days, wherever he lived might have been the world to them. There was no other continent beyond the seas. There could have been a massive flood where he lived. And
I think you've hit on the nail there, right, Dan? What you're trying to get at the point, right? And it's kind of it breeds my point of view in this, is that it's like Chinese whispers, okay?
Oh,
is that you could tell one person a story, and that story has come across from the original source. It's come from his mind that he originated from, he watched it, or done it in his own person. The problem I have with this story, right, is that you tell one person, that person, wow, what a story! He tells the next person, well, that story's already changed. He tells the next person, that story's already changed. Now, what has happened, right, is in this circumstance, the Bible has changed multiple times. Now, naturally, in the very beginning, it might have been that he stated he flooded the world. At that point, how much did they actually know the world? You know what I mean? Like, how much was that a theoretical sense? As much as what I state is that when they state Jesus, it used to heal the blind. Let's just remember one thing now, right, guys? Jesus used to be, as what we know as a carpenter. He said he helped the blind, he fed the sick, and he healed the wounded. And the wounded, in metric sense, to what I hear, is that like he made the dead walk again, and he made the freaking like the people, like sort of like, for argument's sake, like a guy with a broken leg. This guy's a carpenter. What if he just built a walking stick or crutches, right? Remember now, this guy has come across now multiple areas, like when he's healing the sick. Now, may as well, people are dying of a lot of different stuff that now we have cured over the years. Can you imagine now if he just came across a random herb that he's realised is quite a pungent smell, and he's noticed a guy who's maybe in a coma, to everybody else would have been dead back in the day, not a coma.
Perhaps it's something like
would have been dead,
like a Vicks, the vapor rub,
Yeah,
but a bit of that,
and it's just basically smelling salts.
My ailment is
smelling
cured.
salts is basically walking him up. There's elements to this, because this is a genuine fact. This is that people used to get buried back in the day alive because they genuinely were dead going in, and they woke up because you can go into a coma that you kind of flatline.
How much do they know about medical? Did they know to check a pulse back then?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there is points there. Exactly that.
I don't know.
Freaking, and at the end of the day, we are in a different society, different technology, a different age today.
This man is dead. Turns out he's just daydreaming with his eyes open. Like, I'm awake.
There's a lot of factors to play in this. I mean, genuinely, like, think from a modern day mind to an olden, like, BC era day and age. We don't live in that kind of society anymore. This is not even part of this world. Even our third world countries don't live like that anymore. So naturally, we have changed as a world, as a society, and literally since from that date. And we would have acted a lot differently.
Yeah. So let's get back to the point. Would we eradicate religion?
I would.
Yeah. I would say not quite. Because, as I said,
Okay.
I like to say, believe in whatever the hell you want to believe. But don't take it out on me if I don't agree with you.
I agree with that. Yeah.
Because I will say, religions, so a lot of religions, they have some good points. I got to say, Christianity, there's some very nice points in the Bible that teaches you to be a better person and stuff. Like,
yes.
Just be nice to people. In other words, I like that kind of thing. It teaches good. Because I got to say, I grew up going to Sunday school, and I've pretty much been knocked into me that religion is a thing, God exists and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I don't fully believe in it now because my brain has kind of rejected it a bit because I like to live a little bit more logically beyond the stars and stuff like that. It doesn't really fit. But yeah, I say a lot. Even Muslims, they're all kind of religion. Not these terrorists that go around. They just they're psychopaths. But I see a lot of them in work. They go to their temples to go and worship and stuff. Fair enough. They're perfectly nice people. And Muslims as well. It's like, come in. But they're all very decent people. They just choose to believe in whatever they, choose to believe in, and it's just absolutely fine, as long as you're a decent person about it. When you start going around bombing people because we don't agree with you, that's what I don't fucking like. That's the part of religion that knocks me off, like anybody.
I agree. I totally agree.
And it's like, keep it to yourself. If you're not gonna, if you're that person in that kind of disposition, just keep it to yourself. That's, like personally, I believe, we're not the center of the universe at all. We are just we're just one of the many flukes of the universe. Where the conditions were correct. A germ evolved into a fish or whatever the hell it was. I don't know the full facts of it. That crawled out of the sea, started walking around, turned into an ape, and here we are. Over a long period of time. That's what I choose to believe anyway. And I love to believe that things like ghosts and stuff exist, and I think it makes life a lot more interesting than rather just to close it off and call things demons and you're possessed and all that. And I like to think there's a lot more.
Yeah, me too. To be honest, like I take the theory of that. Yes, I don't believe in the evolution cycle because to me it doesn't have much longevity, but what I do believe in the fact that as much as we today, as a society, we would look in, put it this, in an emergency crisis, all right? If we were in an emergency crisis, there's a file on the wall that somebody would pull off. Doesn't matter what company, country, whatever the circumstance, there is a government board or your own company would literally pull off the thing and you would literally pull it down and there'd be a fire plan, or in this case, for a government, it'd be war, and you'd pull it down and there has plans in it of what you would do next, right? In my case, I believe that as a whole, there is other things on different planets that are in that exact position where their planet was either going to shitstorm or shit creek, and literally they were realizing we need to make, maybe for argument's sake, where ours is a fire crisis, or in a government-wise it would be a world war, theirs was called the Adam and Eve creation. And this would have naturally created or given the option of having spaceships or crafts, whatever the circumstance, that would have collected certain dialects of people and certain people that would have been man and woman that would have been suitable to breed with when getting to the next planet, and would have had the Adam and Eve effect. That would have had different ethnic backgrounds, different like. Because at the end of the day, when we go back in it, we can't be all brothers and sisters. To the Adam and Eve effect, we theoretically are all brothers and sisters. But we're not. Like, there has to be an aspect of where we all did differ at one point, where we all had different cycles, different points. Otherwise, you go from the Adam and Eve, there is a fucked up relationship there, because naturally, like, if they bred to have children, that child would have then eventually had to fuck either the mum or the dad, and that then had to have more and more and more and more. Can you see where I'm going with this? Like, literally, it has quite an incest moment. What if Adam and
Eve were completely different species to what we are now, and because they were inbreeding, they all mutated in weird ways, and then over a long line of time and bloodlines and stuff and mixing and stuff, we turned into what we are today. We're humans, and we're still evolving now. Look at Romans. You look at the structures. Look at the structures where Romans used to exist. Have you seen the size of the door frames? Tiny. We have grown as a species.
Oh, totally.
And that's a pretty short amount of time in the life. The amount of time it takes to evolve is thousands and hundreds and thousands of years, millions of years.
Yeah.
To think that we evolved from being that short to becoming like 6'2", what we are now. You're 6'7", and a fart. And it's some parts of evolution takes ages, and other parts it's amazing how quickly it can happen.
Yeah, totally.
And it's the same with. I know I'm going off a bit off topic. I was thinking about this as well. Like babies' heads are getting bigger, and it's becoming more difficult to give birth these days.
It's not even just that. There's another aspect that we as a society, like because of technical wise and like electronically wise, that we have started texting with two hands or one hand. That makes our index, makes our thumb more the aspect of texting. Yeah. Well, what they've realised is that the more 20th century kind of children that have been given birth, they realise their kids have been more adapted to use a tablet and a phone straight off the bat. And I don't mean coming out of the womb, I mean literally like 2 or 3 years old, where naturally like they're coming out and they would be able to use a tablet very easily. Yeah. Now you're talking now, right, if me and you, Dan, from our, born in the 80s, in your case the 90s, is it?
Or no, I'm an 80s baby.
80s, right? We didn't have that. No. If we would look at a tablet, we would have looked at it alienish. Not the point is that it hadn't been made, it's the point it would have been like, where do we start in this? Yeah. You give a kid these days a tablet, even though it's alien to them, they know how to use it. I give my daughter a tablet very early doors, freaking like a tablet to play games and freaking watch, child-friendly YouTube on it and the cartoons. And she can use it better than most adults can. Yeah. That's because they've been adapted that way. It's because naturally she comes from a very tech-friendly family, that me and Jane are very tech-friendly, and naturally my little girl freaking has taken that resource. I mean, dude, she uses Netflix better than I do now. I mean, freaking... she's flying through it. I mean, the TV, goddamn, freaking, they use it more than I would inevitably use it. Yeah. So, there is, as you said, like, there is an evolution cycle that we do overlook as a society, yet it is massively noticeable. Yeah,
definitely. Yeah.
Anyways, freaking, I think we've been on this segment for a bit now, Dan. I think we've resourced our religion topic on our hypothetical.
Yeah. So, in total, you would obliterate religion.
I would, yes.
And I would not. But only parts of it.
Yes, you would only take segments from it. Anyways, guys, on that note, I say we get into the next segment, and that is going to be one of the segments that you guys loved last time, is...
The if statement.
So,
the if statement. Yes.
Friggin' another episode of the if statement. This is the second episode of the if statement, and we have got an actual from the last episode that we did with the if statement. We had an actual listener. I think, to be honest, it came off the both of them, to be honest, and this was off Ben and Steph.
Ben and Steph.
Now, they are a couple who listen to our podcast regular. I'd like to give them a huge shout out. They listen to our product quite nicely. Good friends of mine at the same time. Yeah. And they love listening to us, like tapping for a vein when they're trying to listen to our podcast. They can't get enough.
Ben and Steph. Hi, Ben and Steph. You sound sexy. I'd like to come and meet you sometime.
Oh, I'm going to hear it that one. Just remember that I know them, you've never met them.
I know. I'm just planting the seed so they can take it out on you.
Yeah, freaking you nuggets. But at the same time as well, is they did give us one hell of an awesome segment.
Okay.
Now, weirdly enough, we didn't expect a hypothetical to merge quite nicely into this one. But what they'd given us as because what the if statement is, if you're fresh to the podcast, the if statement is a topical discussion that we lob into the centre of the ring, and me and Dan have a good chat about it. Now, the last one was about robots, and we had our discussion over the Facebook element of it. Now, this week, as I stated, Steph and Ben had given us this really interesting topic, and that was that, please correct me if I'm wrong on this one, is, did Jesus smoke cannabis to see God?
I like this. I like this one.
This is interesting.
Yeah.
Because naturally... it has longevity to it.
And this links up to what some of my beliefs in the last segment, actually. You know, like
It does indeed.
in some way, shape, or form. Like, you know how like I like to believe in the paranormal, and I do believe that mediums
Yeah.
are real. You know, when you filter out
Yeah.
the crap, the bullshit, because
Yeah,
a lot of
okay.
the ones you see on TV and stuff, where they're just playing a game of deduction, pit easy.
Yeah.
Like ones that can actually talk to spirits and stuff like that, and can actually
Okay.
tap into the life force of the world. Or I don't know what they do, but that kind of
Yes.
thing. I do believe that way. I think the mind is capable of doing things that we're not even aware of. Have you ever, for example, been in work, figured out a really complicated bit of mathematication?
Yes.
I'm going to go with mathematication.
Mathematics.
That's a word I made up. I'm going to use it. Mathematication. Have you
You
ever
could
done a
made
bit
up,
of
like-
mathematication?
Yeah.
And you write it down on a bit of paper, and you think, wait a minute, look back at it, and you think, how the hell did I work that out? It's like, that's a very long string of multiplication, division, all in one soup of a math problem. Yeah, I just figured it out in a split second, because I just knew what it was. It's like, there's part of your brain doing stuff that you're not even aware of. So I'm thinking, in some way, shape, or form, mediums are the same. They can do stuff that we're not. They can tap into. Perceive the world in a different way.
Out there.
Yeah, they can perceive the
There
world.
is people out there that can see a weird scaling. Like, there's one woman I remember. I don't know her name off by heart, but when I describe her, you might get an inkling of who she is. And this woman literally can talk to the fucking dead. Like, I shit you not. Like, this, like, don't you see some mediums, right? And they are a bit OTT. Some of them are. Where they're like, I can feel an O, a T, an A, F, B, E, H, D. You know, freaking, they're going through the alphabet, right?
Yeah.
But at the same time as well, it's like, this woman goes like this. I mean, she's literally now going, there's a Trevor. Now, that's a random name.
Yeah.
Lobbing out there. And yes, now, there's a couple in the audience, and I've gone, yes, I know a Trevor. Or a couple of people, I know a Trevor.
Yeah.
And then she goes, this guy is Trevor Davis. Now, this surname now, that's a second name onto it. And in this case, I'm given a hypothetical name here.
Yeah.
She's given weirder names, weirder cycles, what she, in my case, wouldn't have known. But now she's given this second name. And now they're gone, oh, crap, that's me. Okay, it's me. You know, in the crowd, they've stand up in the audience. And they now she's doing something now that takes away even more of a sense of that she's talking to somebody. And she's like, he's talking to me right now, and they're obviously quite overwhelmed. And naturally, then she's like, "Does he have a really deep musk about him?" And she went, "Yeah, they used to smell. Used to literally have like really bad like Old Spice on." And he goes, "I could smell it. I could smell it. It's gaping in my nose. It's that strong." She goes, "Yeah, it was. It could make you tear up." She goes, "I feel like I need to tear up." She went. And like that's explaining something that she didn't ask for. She said first, to then mention it to be the next stages. Now that's not pulling information. That's saying the information first for them then to react to it.
Yeah.
That's different
That
than
kind of
go looking
medium
for
stuff
A's and
I
B's.
don't like, because there's a lot of stuff. Look at Darren Brown, for example. You know, he can do this stuff from brain power alone. He's a very, I don't know what the hell he is, but he can do these things.
No, Dan Brown's weird.
And there's no explaining it unless he told you. Yeah, in some way, shape, or form. Yeah, it could be some sort of higher awareness in your mind that can allow you to do this. But at the same time, it's still a very, extreme form of deduction. You know, it's just like, okay, Trevor, anyone, in a crowd of say 200 people, someone is bound to know a Trevor somewhere.
Yes.
Davis is a very common surname. Jones.
No, but as I said, like that was a hypothetical name. Like I've seen her do like weird like Indian kind of names where.
Oh, okay.
Like I'm talking about like this is not like going like just. I said Trevor Davis because the first thing came to my mind.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen her do weird, obscure names, and like nothing that she should really know, but she does. She's saying information that she should know, but she does. The smell, the texture. She's literally describing her father to the person. Not now literally going, is your dad this? She's going, your dad literally looks like an old man with grey long hair, with freaking one hell of a beard, stinks, wearing this really weird shirt, and he swears he is swearing a lot to me. I need to tell him to go. Like, he's swearing a lot, and they'd be literally like, yeah, my dad is exactly that. Like, my dad was dead on that name.
Okay.
So she's not giving you, like, sort of like going, I think, does he have long hair? You know, where most mediums are, they are that aspect where they're like, oh, you know, does he have this kind of hair? Does he have this? Does he have that? She is literally going, you have this, you have that, you have the other. And they're like, holy shit, how the hell would she know that? Like,
See,
she doesn't know my dad.
Those kind of things, I don't actually believe the spirit is there talking to them. I think she's kind of tapping into some sort of way where she can look at this person and think, right, I can see, from this person, I can see how their father could be something along these lines. In some way, shape, or form that we can't even perceive, but these people can.
Do you know what? I'm going to let you tonight.
Yeah.
I'm going to find a link for you, because as you guys know, me and Dan work together. I'm going to find a link for you tonight and actually see some of our product.
Yeah.
And I think you're going to see what I see from her.
Yeah. Well,
this is not your normal person you see.
Okay.
This is not like your Darren Browns. Genuinely isn't like that. Okay. Like, because Darren Brown has found a rhythm, and Darren Brown's found like that little link in it that really shouldn't be there. And yeah, he's manipulated that big time and realised like how many people just manipulate it. But at the same time as well, like, no, this woman's something different by it. It's as much as like the girl that can see, like she got X-ray vision. Yeah. She can see when you've had something wrong with you and all that kind of stuff. Like, there's people out there that are weird.
Oh yeah, I believe in that kind of stuff too. You know. I'm a kind of a meet it halfway kind of thing. I like to think of it scientifically as well. It's like, I believe the brain is a very powerful tool that can do stuff. And these people, even more so than the norm. Like me, for example, I've never had a ghostly experience. I've never seen a ghost in my life. I've felt a presence, kind of thing. Like, when you go into a very creepy house and you think, something's here. Like, my old house was definitely haunted. There was something there, but I never saw anything. But but I still believe in it, even though I have not seen it. And these people, who can see ghosts and have seen many, paranormal occurrences, their brain can perceive these things. And same with mediums. I believe they've got a gift by all means. But I'm not too sure. Sometimes not so much the fact that they got a ghost standing next to them going.
I'm sure you would what I mean with that woman.
It's like a kind of a formation of a memory, kind of like they can see it off these people in the room, and they can detect these things. A bit like what I was saying at the start, like how you can solve a math problem without even thinking about it when you're not overthinking it. It just comes to you.
I get that.
It just comes to you. By looking at this person, it comes to you. You can just solve it in your head, and these people are very, very good at it.
No,
and they've tapped into that ability.
We've gone a little bit off sync there.
Yeah.
A tad bit.
Yeah.
But I kind of want to bring it back onto the railing here.
It does link up, I promise.
Yeah, no, it does. Because I do want to bring it back onto the railings here with naturally the aspect of is that we got to take in from the original questions that did Jesus take drugs to see God, right? There's an element here, guys, right? Is that there is some longevity to this. There is wording that Jesus did roam this earth. Okay, there's a lot of Christian beliefs out there that believe he has his robes, and that there's DNA that confirms it. I mean, as much as that is nuts to state, supposedly there is supposed longevity to Jesus walking this earth.
I don't like that theory.
There's not.
What are they comparing?
Neither do I.
What are they comparing that DNA to?
Exactly, Dan. Exactly right. But this is what I mean. As much as it dates back to the BC era, it could not be Jesus, right? There could be multiple ones, but it does have certain stuff in the genetics that is a bit weird to us. It has like weird DNA in it that kind of describes the aspect of what it does in the Bible to an element. But anywho's, that's a different story. More the aspect, right, is that there is a form of factor that we believe there was a guy called Jesus.
I believe.
Yet, we've never seen a guy called God. We just know of a theoretical sense that is God.
Yeah.
Now, this does give more longevity then to the possibility of, was there a drug that people have taken, now may as well, as I stated before. There was, something like marijuana was probably quite acceptable and actually grown back in the day of the BC era. Like, this is a plant at the end of the day. This is not like something now we're like, oh, they only made it in the last 30, 40 years.
Yeah, they didn't have a Walter White back then, and there wasn't any laws against drugs, I'm assuming. So
no,
you could smoke or eat whatever the hell you wanted back then.
Exactly. So
if you were acting strangely, you were possessed.
Like they could have made edibles. These are because this could have been an edible that just got you a little bit loopy, a little bit. Yeah. But yes, it could have actually maybe seen God, because when you are high, I've never been in myself, but I have heard of stories that people, when you are actually high, you do see stuff that maybe is beyond what you feel like you shouldn't see.
I just found everything absolutely hilarious.
So in your case, they have. In other cases, some people actually see different stuff. Like, if I remember correctly, there was a story I remember before where this guy had taken drugs and he got so scared that he was hiding underneath the stairs.
Yeah.
And when they went to go and double check, when they came downstairs and went, "Hey, everything okay?" He went, "I'm hiding," and they were like, "Hiding from what?" "I'm hiding from the ghosts."
Oh.
So literally, like, and that was somebody I knew, freaking, and like he taken drugs on it.
Oh.
But
I just want to butt in for a second. If you can hear a Hoover going, I am terribly sorry. It is my dear mother hoovering the stairs outside my bedroom here. And so if you do hear a state-of-the-art Dyson Hoover fucking knocking away out there, then that's what it is. I apologise. Let's carry on with the subject. Do you think Jesus had a Hoover? Dustbuster. After all that woodwork.
No, pal. Freaking, he had all his disciples, didn't he?
That's true. Yes. That's why Judas. He was the one that always had to pick up the bloody wood shavings.
Always have them splinters. Always have them splinters.
Yeah.
Well, to understand, I don't want to go much into this because I feel like a hypothetical and all that really did sort of sync up with this one quite nicely.
Well, when I was talking about at the start, like the mind's abilities and stuff like that, it kind of links up to the Jesus thing. I made sure of this. It may seem like we were going off topic, but it does link up. Like I know that drugs can do stuff to your brain that would enhance this kind of this pocket of whatever your brain is doing for these people who have this perception.
Like hallucinations.
Like hallucinations, you can call it hallucinations. Yeah. I think our conscious mind is so strong. That's what we see. It's like I'm looking at the bed right now, or the lamp. I'm looking at the lamp. It's a lamp. Yes, that's my conscious brain talking. But there's a subconscious there as well, and your subconscious is doing shit too, at the same time. And some other people's, I don't know, with subconscious. I don't know brain surgery, but other stuff in your brain is doing stuff. And perhaps drugs can shut out your conscious brain a little bit so that your subconscious is more aware to your conscious.
Okay.
If you kind of know what I mean.
I totally get where you come from.
Yeah. So, these people, like Jesus, maybe he did have a special ability. He did have this perception, this thingy. But when he took drugs, perhaps it enhanced this even more. Made him even smarter.
Maybe, yes. Maybe.
Like some people who take weed. I think there's different types of weed. Some that makes you really sleepy, some that makes you more active.
Yes.
Perhaps he took a kind of strain of weed that made him more active, made his brain function even better, and...
Have you thought as well how much that maybe his disciples that created the Bible from back in the day, that naturally, maybe they were on the drug too?
Could be.
And that maybe the miracles that they were seeing were quite an hallucination of what could have been.
Yeah. Perhaps the Last Supper, the bread was it was pot brownies. You never know. Yeah.
Pot brownies. Can you imagine? Freaking off his tits. Like.
Yeah. Well, I'm thinking,
JC off his tits.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my God, freaking. Well, on that note, I say we've covered this quite nicely.
Oh, but we haven't, Paul. We haven't. There is a... What's the end of a book called? You got the prologue, which is the start. What's the end? Epilogue. There's an epilogue to this. It all boils down to the fact that Jesus is Batman.
Hey, we can never forget the aspect that Jesus is Batman.
Oh, of course.
He is our Dark Knight.
I've always said, believe whatever you want to believe, and I like to believe that Jesus is Batman. And his descendant, and he had a child, and his descendants have been taught the family trait of being Batman. But it may have started off as a donkey. but then
Well,
then along the lines just changed to a bat. So he's Donkey
before
Man.
Dan goes any further down this rabbit hole, because he's just basically going down a rabbit hole like Alice in Wonderland. Here.
Oh yeah.
Friggin', I say we go into the next and final part of our show. That is going to be...
If you're laughing hard and your sides have split, then you must have heard one of Dan's jokes.
Okay, welcome to another edition of Dan's Jokes. Right then. You ready, Paul?
Yes, go on, hit me with it.
Okay. Knock knock.
Who's there?
Doorbell repairman. That's the
Doorbell
joke.
repairman.
That's it. That's the joke. Oh, I dug deep for these shit jokes.
Oh, they wish. Yeah, they've done it. I got this shit.
Oh, never mind. Right then, next joke. Last night, I tried sharing a bag of chips with a homeless man who was sat on the curb.
Yeah.
He said, "Sod off and get your own bloody chips."
Oh my god. Oh god, on the final one to finish off the show.
What would you get if you crossed an elephant with a fish?
What?
Swimming trunks.
That's so shit. And on that note, it's been a great podcast. Guys, if you want to download us and all to get all this juicy goodness, all our jokes, all our laughs, and get a hold of us on all our segments, that would be downloading us on the SoundCloud, Android, freaking can't even remember which ones to get us on now, Dan. That'd be SoundCloud,
YouTube,
Android,
Apple Podcast. Give us a review.
Yes. And all you need to do, guys, any podcast app that you can get a hold of us on, you just need to look for the DPCast. That's capital D, capital P, capital C, A-S-T. Or you can literally get a hold of us on Twitter, and that is at the DPCasters, capital D, capital P, capital C, A-S-T-E-R-S. And that means you can actually listen to our podcast live as it gets tweeted up, and you can hit it straight away as it gets up, and just by hitting the link. Now, that's all from us this week.
Yeah, it is.
Because it's been another good one this week. It's been another eventful podcast.
Yeah,
we've gone down some deep roots.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's another week. Yeah, I think we should do some little skit here. How should we end the show?
How should
we end the show? What should we call you? Paul, my babbling buffoon, and I'm Dan, the blithering idiot.
Dan?
Yeah.
Say goodbye.
Goodbye, everyone. I've been shut down.
And it's goodbye from me as well, guys. Have a great one, guys. Ta-ra.
Bye.